what I want, and I'll say this till the end of time, I just want Wuhu back. I want Wuhu back so much. Not even, you know, Nintendo Switch Sports, whatever. I would just love Wuhu to come back. That's always kind of my thing.
Next. Please take a look at
What is this? Oh, it's the Nintendo Switch 2 version, is it?
Welcome to Wuhu.
What a great day for the Nintendo Switch Sports community. Wuhu Island is making its grand return in the brand new Nintendo Switch Sport Resort game. Yeah, I'm really excited about this game, okay? And, you know, this is just great. I have a few things I want to say before we kind of go into it. First of all, if you go back on this channel, I have a serious reputation of saying Nintendo Switch Sports is a terrible game, and I still stand on that. I still think comparing it to its old predecessors, it's not that good. It's just not much DLC going on, no grading system, no stamps, and nothing to keep you coming back to the game. So I still stand by that, you know. It's got a couple of good games. Besides that, I still don't think that's a great game. I was 22 when that game first came out. I'm 26 now, for fuck's sake. But I've grown, and I've grown to appreciate gaming a lot more. And I can see now that, you know, I did put like around 200 hours into it, mostly just playing golf. But that, you would consider that a good game then. It will sound very hypocritical because I've been chatting shit about this game for so long. But I'm sorry, okay? I've grown up now. How about we get into this fucking trailer? How about that instead of me waffling on? I watched a couple of reactions to the Nintendo Direct. Not many people reacted like in any special way towards this game, which is completely fair enough. I think the die-hard Nintendo fans couldn't give a shit about this. It's like child's play to them, I feel. But you have to understand that like this, in the wider sense, this is a gigantic game and it's going to sell very well. Not only is it amazing to see Wuhu come back, because I think the Nintendo Wii was just such a revolution in the gaming industry, and I think Wuhu Island had a lot to do with that. So it's very big, you know. When you look back on Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort, they were one of the most highest selling games of all time. So you can't ignore that, you know what I mean? So this is a very, very big deal, okay? Right, first and foremost, okay, it has changed an awful lot. It obviously isn't going to be the same as Wii Sports Resort, and I think it's very, very important for us to realize now that it's just not going to be the case. You kind of have to let it go that it's not going to be the same as the Wii. That was, and for many of us, it's just pure nostalgia. That's like, oh, like, you know, I want it to be the exact same, I want to be like this. It makes us think that Wii Sports Resort was the greatest thing to have ever happened in gaming, and in reality, like, it was very influential. It was, but it's not the be all and end all. Do you know what I mean? This is what's going to happen. Change is inevitable, okay? You can't go into this and complain about it because Nintendo Switch Sport is completely different. They don't want it to be the exact same. Do you know what I mean? It's on a different console. They want their own new, you know, revived look. You know, that's why they have Spoko. I think it's called Spoko Resort now or something like that. And obviously the volcano is completely changed. It's way bigger. And in fact, the whole island has changed if you really delve into it. Like the Wuhu town is not in the same place it usually is. And yeah, there's a lot more open body of water there. So obviously they're going to be using that for something. But look, yes, the map has changed. 12 sports. This is good. Okay, this is great. They're doing exactly what Wii Sports Resort did back in the Wii, is that they've completely added up on the sports, and it's something that especially me, who was very upset about in Nintendo Switch Sports, was that it didn't have enough sports. You know, I think I looked at it as a sequel to Wii Sports Resort, and that like, why is there so much less sports in Wii Sports Resort? In fact, actually, it's just a complete revive of that. You know, it's something completely separate. This is great. Okay, we're getting 12 sports. So there's going to be new sports. That's good. More games. One thing I'll say, does look a bit stiff though, is the only thing. If I have to criticize small bit, it looks very, very stiff. But still, good to have boxing back. Now, table tennis. I've got something to say about this. If this is even like half as intuitive as it was on the Wii Sports Resort, this will be a fantastic sport, because I felt table tennis and basketball were the best sports on Wii Sports Resort. I don't see how they can mess this up, considering how good the motion control is on the Joy-Cons. I think this is going to be absolutely amazing. I think this sport is going to be great. Archery, I'm happy with that. Don't have much to say. Small thing here, I suppose people will complain about it. It is and it isn't a kind of a big deal. They are 100% just using sports from Nintendo Switch Sports, which is fair enough. I always thought tennis was actually a good sport on it, but they're just reusing the exact same motion. It looks like, anyway. I don't think they're gonna enhance it in any way, you know what I mean? I think it's happening with tennis, bowling, golf, I'm guessing as well. There's probably more. Volleyball as well, yeah, of course. Bowling, yep. It even looks like the exact same models as well, man. Basketball, yeah. Yeah, this would be something that for me, it would have to change. Basketball is by far the worst sport in Nintendo Switch sports. If they were to do anything, I would love them to change this. There's so many things they can do with it. Just what they have is just rubbish. And yeah, as I've said before, golf was my favorite sport by a long shot. And it looks like here, to be honest, it looks like it's the exact same model from Nintendo Switch Sports. I'm pretty sure that big building is in Nintendo Switch Sports as well. And the blimp flying around, it actually looks like a carbon copy. Don't know if there's going to be any new courses or something like that, but it looks the exact same. Which I'm not, you know, complaining about. Like, the golf in that game is fantastic and really feels nice. Not much to say. I'm happy with any new sports. I'm happy with. Yeah, something big I want to mention here, and I'll come to it in a minute, but skateboarding is a big deal because it looks like it's just free roam. You could just free roam, do whatever you want. Looks class. Yeah, I'll come back to it. Power cruising, it's whatever. I never really cared much about it in Wii Sports Resort, but looks good. Let's be real, this is the biggest deal of this whole thing. Prop plane. One thing I want to say, doesn't this map look fucking gigantic, man? This looks so much bigger than Wuhu. That, like, I'm looking at it now. I know, yeah, he's high up in the air, but this looks gigantic. Consider you can see the arenas there on the left and the lighthouse on the right. This looks fucking huge. This looks way bigger than Wuhu Island. I didn't see anyone saying that in any of the reviews. This looks huge, but I'll come back to it in a second. I'll come back to it. This jump rope mechanic could actually be a brand new feature. That would be nice. A bit of a warm-up section, you know, that would be very nice, where they could add new warm-ups and stuff like that. Mini games, I suppose. I think it gave us a lot to think about, okay? And again, I don't think it showed us everything. I think there's much more they want to show. Anyway, right, so I have questions. I have a lot of questions, and let's see if any of these come true. First question, are they focusing less on online play? The reason I ask this is because of skateboarding and prop plane. To me, they look like sports that, like, you know, they don't need to be played online. Look, I don't know if there's any online stuff they could do. Now, it would be nice to be able to, like, skateboard around and, you know, fly around with your buddy or whatever, but those sports to me feel more like solo sports where you can just go and do whatever you want. And that's kind of leading me to believe that possibly they're going away from online play, which in my eyes was a gigantic issue in Nintendo Switch Sports. There was like nothing you could do by yourself when you were not online. You could only get up to a certain rank, and that was about it. You know, you can only get like 1 or 2 cosmetics as well. It wasn't good enough in my eyes, so this would be a huge deal if they were focusing less on it and that you could really grind in solo play, because that's something that I would have really wanted. I would really like this, where they kind of focus. They have the online play, yeah, that's great, but they also have offline play where you can grind normally, just like in Wii Sports. But hopefully this is something that they possibly could do. Second question, is there a time limit on skateboarding or prop plane? So this kind of opens the door for a lot of stuff, but hear me out. Could this be like Mario Kart World, where you can click a button and bang, you're into free roam, you get your skateboard out or whatever and you're going around Wuhu Island? Or you might be able to free roam and then go to the sports that way. Very far-fetched, yes, but you know, they've done it with Mario Kart World. And listen to this theory. The reason I think this is probable is because it's specifically made for the Nintendo Switch 2. So this won't be on Nintendo Switch 1. The reason this is a big deal is because they're losing out on so much money. There's a reason they're doing that. So hopefully it's because they need the power from Switch 2. It could be a thing. So yeah, like they get rid of the time limit. You go around on a plane or whatever, you go skateboarding. Yeah, that would be great. Again, very far-fetched. Don't know if it is, but they're my 2 questions for now. Obviously, there's a lot more. Lastly, what would I like? Now, I need to be very, like, I went so in hard on what I wanted to happen on Nintendo Switch Sports and none of it came true. So this is what I want, and I kind of want to keep it like in reality as well, okay? I still am expecting free roam. I don't see why they would not do it now when they have skateboarding and prop plane. Like, this is like the best time to do it. We never really had free roaming on Wuhu, and I think it's a great map. You know, they could make it very immersive, just like Mario Kart World, where you press a button and you're into free roam. I don't see why they wouldn't do it. They've got the power of the system now. Why not? Stamps, or something in that matter, like stamps. I think that was a missed opportunity in Nintendo Switch Sports, so I think now would be fantastic. Again, you'd be more focusing on offline play, and you would be forcing people to come back to the game for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Wii Sports Resort had it, and Wii Sports Club had it, and it's like, it's something to grind for. It's such a simple mechanic. I don't know why they wouldn't have it. So that's something else. Less focus on online play. Yeah, I've said it already. Okay, maybe not. Maybe, you know, do your online play. That's obviously a huge experience, but I think they should put more effort into the offline play, considering Nintendo's networks is just still not up to scratch compared to like PlayStation or Xbox. So yeah, I think it's something they could really concentrate on. I would love a new ranking system, a new offline ranking system. I don't mind the online ranking system, but I would love a new ranking system. I don't think they're going to go back to the original. I think that's something they want to get away from, but I would just love a better one. I think the ABC thing is completely fine, but I would like one for offline, something I can grind for a long freaking time. Because trust me, I would sit down and play one single sport for hours, knowing I'm getting better. That's how I feel about it. I feel like it's something they could do. And lastly, I would just love regular DLC. They really gave no love to it after launch. They added golf, fair enough, and they added basketball, and that was it. Out of like 2 or 3 years it came out, and basketball was the most random thing ever, man. I couldn't believe the direct when it came up. I was like, what? So yeah, I would prefer regular DLC. I don't know, more sports, cycling, one that just pops into my head. Sword play, I don't know why they took that out when that's a huge part of Wii Sports Resort. So that kind of leads me to believe that yes, they will be adding DLC, hopefully more of it, and hopefully more regularly, and maybe new locations or something like that. Something very simple. So I've kept that quite soft. I've kept it like it's something that they could do. And ladies and gentlemen, that's about it. Yeah, look, I'm extremely happy. I can't wait to play this game. Ladies and gentlemen, that's about it. Good luck.